Hey, I get this question a lot, and I want to try to answer it in detail so I can help you understand. The question is, why is security monitoring not free? So when we talk about security monitoring for a security system like this is a security panel here. We have thousands of these out throughout the US. Millions of the brand, we have thousands of them out. The question, it makes complete sense to me. Like, I bought a system, I bought the hardware, got the app downloaded on my phone, I've got it connected to the internet. Why is it not free? So I'm going to help everyone understand why security monitoring costs money. Now, I'm not talking about Ring or something giving you a free app which does not call police, fire, or medical services in case you have a fire, you have an emergency where someone's had a heart attack, or you have a CO2 sensor that goes off in the middle of the night and you want the police to come and get you out of bed because you have you have carbon monoxide, you have CO asphyxiation. I'm not talking about the free apps. I'm talking about a service that literally will call police, fire, and medical services if you're out of town on vacation and somebody breaks into your home or there's a fire, you have pets inside your home and you're not home. It will call the fire department for you even if you're not there. I mean, fire is an immediate emergency. I'm talking about a service that really is there to protect your life and your family, not just something that's a free app. And here's the difference, okay? And there's really two components that you pay for. There's some ancillary things as well that you pay for, but there's really two main components that you pay for. One of them is a panel like this, which is dual path. You pay for a Verizon or an AT&T or a T-Mobile chip that is inside of there that is always active. Now, not every security system is a dual functioning system, meaning dual path, where if the internet goes down, it will still call, or if the cellular tower goes down, it will still call over the internet. They're not all built that way. So when you ask your question about, what am I getting from AT&T? ADT, what am I getting from Brinks? You need to ask the question, is it a dual path system? And failover is not the same as dual path. I'm not going to get into those details today. But the main component one of the main of two, is you're paying for a cellular service inside of the panel. It has to stay active. The dealer pays for it. It's just kind of a pass-through charge. The second thing that you're paying for is when that call goes out, either over the internet or over the cellular network, where does that call go? And you need to have a UL listed security company. And I'm not going to go into universal listing, what all that means, but I want to give you the basics of it. They have to meet certain criteria to be a UL listed monitoring company. Usually they have to have geographic diversity in case there is some type of a, let's take Katrina for instance. A lot of businesses wiped out by Katrina. If there is a natural disaster, geographic diversity means that monitoring station will have other places throughout the US that can still make calls. And who are they making calls to? They're making calls to the police, fire, and medical service in your neighborhood or in your county, your city. But who's making the call? So literally, these monitoring stations have butts in the seats. Sometimes it's a few if it's a small company, up to several hundred if it's a large company. Like for instance, in Dallas, Texas, whenever there's a thunderstorm, up to 10,000 calls go to a monitoring station because thunder and lightning cause problems with security systems. Some, especially the older security systems. Most of the new technology knows that it's not somebody breaking in or it's not glass breaking, but that's a whole other topic as well. There's lots of topics in here. But you're paying for two main things. You're paying for the cell card inside of the panel to stay functional and operational, and you're paying for the butt in the seat that's going to call the police, fire, and medical services should something happen at your home. And here's what's important. I am going to do a separate video on how long your call list should be. You really shouldn't have any more than 3 people who are called in case of an emergency, because if there is an emergency or a break-in, the monitoring station should have a list. Usually it's the homeowner and his wife. Yes, I still use husband and wife. Those 2 people are usually first on the list, or maybe a child on the list as well, but they're going to call down the list. If you have a list with 20 people on it, they're going to call through that list before they call the police, fire, and medical services. It's not a good idea, in my humblest professional opinion, to have more than 3 people on the list, because that is a delay in time when the police, fire, and medical services could show up. And the reason you need to have more than one is all of us, to some degree, may not be able to always answer the phone. It may be off. You may be on a conference call. You may be out of town. You may be in Aruba. You may be on a ship. You may be on a subway where you can't get calls. You may be in one of those communist states or have hired one of those communist insurance companies that requires your phone to be off and not working when you're driving down the road. It's a good idea, but still, it's kind of communist to make you do that. All those things can limit the calls coming into your phone. So if you have an emergency, you have pets in your house, the smoke alarm's going off, you don't want your pets to die and you're driving down the road, you want the monitoring station to call the fire department to send them over to your house. So really, again, there's two main components. I'll get into the ancillary or the other things in another video. But somebody has to pay Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile for the service that's inside your panel. And there has to be some way to compensate these people who are sitting in these monitoring stations who are calling the police, fire, and medical for you. I hope that helps you understand. If somebody's trying to sell you a system and there's no monitoring, there's no charge monthly, you're not getting a security system. You're getting a sounder that goes on your wall. You're getting something that's going to call an app that's going to annoy you, and then you're going to have to call police, fire, and medical services. And again, if you're on a subway, phone off, on a conference call, in a meeting, and the phone can't get to you, who's going to call the fire department for your pets or your children or your family? Those are some things to think about with the free services. What's it really costing you if it's free? Hope this helps. Hey, like and subscribe.